So ActiveCampaign have made some pretty big changes to their pricing over the last few months. I want to do this follow-up video just to talk through what those changes are, how much ActiveCampaign now costs, and whether this changes anything in terms of whether ActiveCampaign is still a good affordable option or maybe who it's kind of not right for. So I guess zooming out first, we've often talked about ActiveCampaign as being one of the most affordable automation platforms for the level of features that they offer. So we look at over 670 different email marketing tools, and we collect lots of data on their pricing, their features, to try and understand which tools are the most competitive. And ActiveCampaign have always scored really well because although they're not the cheapest, and if you are just doing basic newsletters and you don't need advanced automation, there are way cheaper tools out there like MailerLite, GetResponse, MailChimp, etc. As you can see here, you don't need to be paying this if you can sort of get away with paying a bit less. But for the level of features that ActiveCampaign offer and how advanced it is really affordable. A really nice comparison is looking at ActiveCampaign versus HubSpot, or if you're in e-commerce, maybe Klaviyo. And you can see for virtually any level of contacts, ActiveCampaign is still considerably more affordable. Now, the challenge is that this has become a little bit more complicated to unpick because of a change that ActiveCampaign made a few months ago. So it used to be that with ActiveCampaign, regardless of what plan you paid for, you got access to all the different areas of the product. You've got the CRM, you've got email marketing, you've got automation. Now they've divided their product into kind of two broad areas. You've got the sales functionality, the CRM, and you've got the marketing features. And you can buy them independently, or you can buy them together as a bundle. So you can still pay for it the same way that you used to, but you can also kind of buy these separate. And this makes a lot of sense because thinking about our use cases, we've used ActiveCampaign across a lot of our products. And there are some situations in the past where we just haven't used the CRM. We've preferred to integrate with Salesforce or Pipedrive because it made sense for that business, and just using ActiveCampaign for the marketing automation. I know a lot of e-commerce companies would rather just use Shopify or WooCommerce as their effectively their CRM and just use ActiveCampaign for email marketing. So it makes sense to me that ActiveCampaign would sort of separate these and allow you to buy them independently. Of course, a lot of people do sort of use the CRM. Imagine the majority would sort of still do this, but it is nice that you can sort of pay for what you use rather than sort of have to sort of buy the entire product. But this does make trying to understand how much it costs a little bit tricky. So a few things to start off. The cheapest that you can get ActiveCampaign for is now $29 a month. It used to be $19 a month, and although you can see $19 a month here on the screen, I'm not really counting this because this is just for the CRM. Most people using ActiveCampaign, I think, are approaching it from a marketing first perspective. And so the lowest you can get it is $29 a month. And the way to do this, although it says $49 here, this is for the Plus plan, you need to go to the Lite plan. So to do it, you can click here. I'm going to include a bunch of links in the description that will be quite helpful. So one of them is a comparison, this one, where you can compare all the different features against each other. Another one is this one. Now, it's very important you go to this page and not a similar page on ActiveCampaign's website, because this one allows you to start from 1,000 contacts, and it also includes the Lite plan. A lot of the links from ActiveCampaign's website, if we go here, for example, kind of hides this plan, which is a little bit cheeky, but I'll link to the one that includes this below. So the best way to work out how much you're going to pay is really simply going to this link. We used to kind of include lots of tables like this to try and sort of help people work out based on the number of contacts and the tier that they're on, how much you'll pay. But it's getting a little bit trickier now because we also need to factor in, are you on a bundle, sales, or marketing? So the best way to work it out is to go to this page, enter how many contacts you're on and what plan you need. And you can work out what plan you need based on this comparison table that I mentioned. As a general rule of thumb, Lite is just going to offer you email marketing and automation. When you add in Plus, you get things like SMS and landing pages and some of the sort of more advanced features. And then when you get into kind of professional and enterprise, this is where we get things like split automation, some of the machine learning features, and then enterprise is kind of more sort of the security and compliance features. The other thing that changes is the number of users. But the best way to kind of work this out is to just go to this page, work out what it is that you need, and then come back to here based on that. So In terms of how much it's going to cost, your best bet is just go here and work it out from there. But I guess something that I should point out here at this point is that ActiveCampaign has not actually really got more expensive for what you previously used to pay for. So what I mean by that is they've removed certain plans. So for example, you can no longer, at a point in time, you used to be able to kind of pay for a plan that only had 500 contacts. That has now gone. So the lower tiers have disappeared as far as I can tell. You used to be able to get ActiveCampaign for $19 a month. Now it's the lowest is $29, but you get more for it. So this is really more just kind of ActiveCampaign have repackaged what they already had into a way that makes a bit more sense for users, but it is just a bit trickier to work out how much it costs. I don't think this fundamentally changes the fact that ActiveCampaign is still the most affordable platform for the level of features that they offer, but it does just make it a little bit harder to say this is how much you're going to pay based on the number of contacts. You need to kind of spend a bit more time now working out what it is you need and entering it here. Hopefully that's been useful. We'll be updating some of the pricing across all of our different reviews over the coming weeks. Any questions about ActiveCampaign's pricing, feel free to drop them below. And yeah, I'll help where I can. Cheers.